So how's your business there, David? How you doing?
Denny, I am grateful to say that I have four properties listings that are going to market in the next month or two. Well, two of them are already listed, two of them are preparing to go to market. So very excited. And yeah,
Has our conversations helped you in that regard?
100%. Every conversation that I have had with sellers recently, I've has been and I've used something that has we've learned from recon and role play. Every conversation.
It's hard to believe coming up. I'm getting ready to do Bold again for September, October. And I think that's when I was with you guys last year. I think it was in the fall.
Yes, it was. It was the end of summer and the fall. Are we not, is that not happening again?
I don't know if you're having Bold or not. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going. I haven't been asked to go.
Are you going to be in the Jersey? Are you scheduled to be in the Jersey area in the coming months?
I am going to be in no, not far. I'm going to be in Boston, two areas in Boston and Rochester, New York.
Got it.
I won't be far from you.
Okay.
All right, let's get going here. Let's see here.
So I do want to, I heard what you said this morning. I have four coaching calls that I have to cash in on with you. If you ever find yourself in the situation that you were in yesterday, just pick up the phone, let me know. I'll be happy to go over any scenarios that I'm coming across right now.
Say that last part again.
I'd be happy to go over and discuss with you a bunch of the different scenarios or things that I'm struggling with.
Okay, good. Yeah, and you can bring him up here if you feel comfortable doing it. Well, let's get going. I appreciate you being on. I see some familiar faces: Alberto, Sean, of course, David, Kevin. Welcome. How's San Francisco? Scott, Eva, Teresa, Christopher. I got Rick coming on. Awesome for that. Maybe I'll have. I know Louise won't be on. Maybe and Don is probably door knocking. And Matt's probably running a marathon or some crazy thing like that. Welcome to the mastery level real estate from Denny Grimes. Stays September 5th, already in September. And so I have, I'm going to share something with you. I'm going to share two quick things with you. And I'll generally give a few more minutes for people to come on. And if you guys have not joined my YouTube channel, I would really like it if you would. And if you benefit from what we're doing, maybe you would be willing to write a testimony or something about how it helps you. I heard from I have my co-author or is helping me write the book. I will have my first draft of my book supposedly by the end of this month. So that's moving forward. If you'd like to be on the mailing list of when that comes out, just copy that QR code. And also, all you guys are kind of my friends. I trust you guys. You know what? That is not the actual title. I was sharing that with a friend of mine. He said, Denny, that's a boring title, The Mastery of Real Estate. You know, you might be right. You know, maybe it doesn't have a lot of sex appeal. So if you have any comments on that, that'd be great too. I want to share two things with you that happened. That one was a thought, one was something that happened to me. So you all ready for this? We are at our worst when we make assumptions and we let our guard down. So a week or so ago, someone in my farm area, I'm in a country club area, and I do a lot of business here, been here since I started 30 years ago, so pretty well known. And somebody from the club called me and said, hey, I want to sell my house, blah, 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 come meet with me. And everything I teach you guys, guess what? I didn't do. Why? I assume she called me over to list their house. So rule number one, don't assume anything. So I go over there. My daughter, would be the co-lister, she was there. And she, oh, Danny, help me so much. The house is all cluttered up. What do I need to do to sell the house? And you know what I started doing? I got out of my routine of what a listing presentation is all about with the assumption she wanted to use me to list the house and start helping her like, okay, this is what you should do. This is what you should do versus here's my MO. We've been talked about it a lot, but my MO is sit down at the table, take a walk through the house and then sit down at the table and discuss what some of the motivation, are you interviewing other agents? Have that up front. So long story short, even when I left, she said, okay, and my daughter kind of finished it up because I had an appointment, but I had a funny feeling. There was no sign in the yard, no call back. Well, this just 2 days ago, I saw her at the club again, and she said, Denny, I just want to let you know, thanks for coming by. I went with somebody else, which you kind of get that pit in your stomach that something's going to happen like that. And so when that happens, when the client doesn't use you, don't burn bridges, right? However, you might be able to get some learning out of it. So I asked her, I said, well, okay, this will help me. Why did you make the other decision? And I didn't even ask who, but I kind of knew who. I did ask later, but well, I went with the other agent because she was more aggressive. Well, I said, more aggressive? What do you mean by that? Getting clarity, right? Well, she said, we got to do this, we got to do that, we got to do that, blah, 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 like kind of bossing around a little bit. Started thinking, now here's the issue. I said, well, do you mind if I just share something with you? And I know you've made the decision, and I'll honor that. I'll try to help you find a buyer or whatever. But I sell 100 to 200 homes a year, and I've never been accused of being not aggressive enough. I actually sell between 100 and 400 homes a year, but I didn't say 400. I just said 100, 200 homes. She said, I didn't know that. I mean, I didn't know that. Now, here's the lesson. Don't be afraid to let people know why they should hire you. I went over there assuming she wanted to hire me and never told her why she should hire me. Are y'all hearing me on this? And generally it happens not when it's an arm's length transaction. It'll be like something like that. A friend, a family member refers you someone, and you're going to let your guard down and don't assume that everybody knows that you're real. Clark Kent is really Superman. So tell me what you're hearing. I wanted you guys to, it was my mistake. It cost me $18,000. What are you guys hearing?
Well, what I'm hearing is that you shouldn't assume that your client knows who you are and what you represent, and don't be afraid to be able to communicate that and or toot your own horn as far as your accomplishments when you're having that conversation with your clients.
And, and you can think, yeah, you're exactly right. And you know what, think, well, I'm not, she should know. I had to be coming from ego. Nah, that's bad. Okay. Any other comments on that? I hope that lesson will help you.
Yeah.
I had one more time it happened in my past, family member. Somebody, a real estate agent called me and said, hey, your cousin was out looking at my open house today and wants to buy it. And well, how did you know he's my cousin? And the agent said, well, because he said that. And she said, well, why are you using Denny? He said, well, we're not that close. So don't take anything for granted, gang. Fair enough? And who do we have here? Okay. So if you want to play, get in the chat. I may be going solo here. We'll have some conversations. One more thing I want to share with you. Put in the chat if you're familiar, unless you're first time here, you're familiar with the concept of the better way listing. We talk about that. We can role play that. It's something I've coined. Is it possible for those that are new on the call that when you go to meet with the seller, that they don't mentally agree with your market analysis? You go and you do your research on, and you do a great job on your market analysis, and they don't agree. Is it possible? Put it in the chat if it happens. So I'm going to give you another parallel that you can get in your mind. And I love to teach you guys how to think more so than what to say. For example, I'm thinking about just before this call, you guys, who remembers the first Karate Kid? Mr. Miyagi, not the later one, and not Cobra Kai. Who remembers the first Karate Kid? He wanted to go and do some, chop boards and go and all fight stuff. And what did he do? Wax on, wax off, paint the fence, rub the floor, or whatever. He was teaching him fundamentals. Mastery to me is understanding the fundamentals. So I'm going to give you big picture. So when we walk into a potential seller, the buyers are the same, but I'm just going to be talking about a seller right now. Come on, why aren't they coming in? It would be perfect if every one of the sellers we met would agree with our market analysis and would list somewhere in that range, wouldn't it? But it doesn't always happen. There are sellers out there that have different expectations. The better way is, instead of getting into the conversation about you should be listing here and not there, the better way is maybe giving them a little bit of freedom. Here's a parallel, to have them accept the treatment they want what they want to take. For example, imagine you're a doctor. Here's the path I think we should go. This is the proven method of getting rid of that rash. It's possible that that patient doesn't want to do the doctor's recommendation. They may want to take a different path. You know, a lot of people don't want to do surgery right away. My doctor wants to do surgery on my shoulder because I have a shoulder issue. I don't want to take that path. So my parallel is this: when you walk into an appointment, if the seller is willing to listen to you and you still don't put your fingerprints on the price, amen, brother, sister, good job. If they want to follow another path, another form of treatment, another protocol, if you're into medicine, here's my advice. Why don't you let them? Why don't you say, that's great? I mean, this is the most common form of treatment right here based on the research. But if you want to take this path, let's go. And you know what? If it doesn't work, let's get back together and figure out a plan B. That is so simple. Talk to me, guys. Does that not ring bells in your brain about how a listing appointment should go?
I agree with you 100%, Danny.
I do as well.
Yeah, Danny, my name is Dennis from Arizona. First time here. I'll just give you like a little feedback or share a story, if I may, regarding this that happened in the spring of this year. It was actually a family friend. I've known the gentleman for 20 years. The gentleman was relocating from Phoenix to Seattle, but basically, he wanted to list it. I was like, the data showed 830. He's like, I need to be above 900, which was a pretty big spread. But one of the things I really learned from this experience, he was like, hey, Dennis, this little subdivision is literally next door to a highly sought after private school. It was an elementary school, guys. And he'll just put in a lot of value to that, right? But the guy's been there for 20 years, so he knows the neighborhood, right? Like, I didn't put that much value to it. And sure enough, the buyer that came, that's why they bought the house, is because the house was next door to the school that the kids go to, right? And it was walking distance. So yeah, I mean, again, it just goes to your point, right? This is a fluid. You always got to listen to the client. Obviously, we have data, but in the end, it's their choice, right? We just manage the process. They'll manage the decisions.
Good. Thank you. You go by Dennis?
Yes, sir.
With a Z.
Yes, sir. Dennis, it's Turkish.
So they call you Dennis, or I'd say, my name is Dennis, but I go by Denny. And if I'm in trouble, everyone calls me Dennis. All right. I tell you what, there's nobody to watch the chat. If you want to have a conversation, have a question, raise your hand, digital hand, and let's go. Let's have some conversations, you guys.
Danny, I'm not sure. I have a commercial scenario. You want to talk about it?
What kind of scenario?
It's a commercial lease. So I'm not quite familiar with commercial. Obviously, you have much more experience, but if you're okay, we can talk about it. If not, we can skip.
Well, I'm not a commercial agent and I'm not expert in commercial leases. However, if you don't get into the weeds on the there's principles. If somebody does not want to do something that is that the market says they should do, a seller is not realistic or a buyer is not realistic, it doesn't matter if they're commercial or residential. If it can tie into what we do here in conversations, I'm happy to have a conversation, but I don't want to get lost in the weeds on cap rates and things like that.
Well, let's just brief talk about it, see if you can help with anything. So basically what's happening is this lady, she owned a lot of like commercials, like a lot of commercial building in this plaza. And she's trying to rent out one of the place. And the prior owner was doing restaurant was was a restaurant owner. So we try to rent out this another restaurant space. And I'm about to have a conversation with her because she probably gonna ask me, how you familiar with commercial, like, what do you think of? Because I mean, I have Craigslist and LoopNet and whatnot, but I don't find a lot of comp in there. However, it's like a very uh, it's a very good high traffic place.
So here's what I'm hearing. Does it matter? We work on this in recon and on mastery? Somebody may ask you what your level of experience is. Can that happen in residential as well as commercial? Yes. Is the conversation or the format of the conversation the same? Yes. Also, is it possible that we could be talking to a seller that has a property that has no comps nearby? Yes. Is it the same residentially as it is commercially? Yes. What is the main difference, you guys, between, I'll ask you this, and Fan, hold back on the answers first, okay? Just hold back, see if somebody has an answer. What's the main difference between a residential transaction and a commercial transaction? There's more than one, but what is a main difference between the two?
Generally, commercial transactions take a little bit longer than residential.
Yes, they do. They take more time. And part of the reason is they don't have like, I know they have LoopNet, whatever, but they don't have near the cooperative system we have here. What's another, anybody here do commercial? What's another difference?
Well, there's not the emotion of like residential buyers and sellers. It's all about the dollars and cents.
Now there's a guy that understands numbers. Thanks, Rick. You're exactly right. That's the biggest deal. Now that's kind of your friend. However, the market reacts the same in commercial as it does in residential. For example, if you ask too much, Fan, for example, we'll go into a role play if you want, but if she's asking too much for that building from a price standpoint or from a cap rate standpoint, what will the market do? Probably one of three things, right? So if there are no comps for a property, then let me role play this with you. You are that seller. We'll get to the experience one next. So basically, you've got a unique property, a commercial building here, Fan, and there's nothing like it in the area. What do you want to sell it for?
I want to rent.
I want to. Okay, you want to rent it.
Probably do $30 per square foot and $5 extra for the triple net.
Okay. Now, whose number is that, gang? That's their number. We follow the same principle. You don't put your number. Now, if you were doing commercial property, you could go out there somewhere and probably find a similar property. I mean, within a mile, 5 miles, 10 or 1,000 miles, there's going to be something that would be similar. But if that's what she wants, 30 and 5 for Cam or whatever, and you expose it and you have no activity, Rick, what will be the problem?
Doesn't make business sense.
Right. For commercial, it's going to be dollars and cents. And commercial is pretty much black and white. There's some emotion to it. Unlike Dennis talked about the home that sold because it was near a school, people generally don't buy businesses because it's near a school, unless, of course, it generates business. Now, let's have the conversation that the seller is asking Fan his level of experience. So I tell you what, so why doesn't somebody role play? So I'll let you guys talk a little bit. Fan, you want to be the agent or do you want to be the seller or the leaser, the landlord?
Landlord.
Who wants to have a role play with Fan about you be the agent and he's going to talk about your level of experience. This is where we grow, gang. Come on. You don't have to be a commercial agent. This can happen to you in residential. All right, I'll do it. No one else raising their hand. Come on, scaredy cats. All right.
Denny, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate your time. How What's your level of experience of commercial?
Well, you're asking about my level of experience or my team's level of experience?
Your team.
Okay, the team, which is the people in my office, we have a pretty strong commercial division, so we do a lot of business commercially.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about how you're gonna help me to, if you know, I haven't hired any agent yet, but let's say if I pick you, how would you like to proceed our deal?
Okay, so you're asking that question. I'm assuming, have you talked to any agents yet?
No, I talked to some interest party. However, you know, I have a big sign on the building, so like I haven't signed anything yet.
Okay, so you want to list your restaurant for lease, right?
That is correct.
So what are you looking for? There's a lot of agents out there that can promise anything, but you want to pick the right agent, correct?
Yeah.
What are you looking for in an agent?
Agent who can help me smooth out the deal and then find the best possible renter. I mean the, you know, hopefully 5 years renter at a competitive, you know, rate.
Or here's another way. What he says is not going to be too important. Another question is, okay, what are the two most important things you're going to hire? You want to pick the right agent. What are the two most important things for you in an agent? What I have just demonstrated. Now he's being compliant so far. What have I done? I've taken control of the conversation. Rather than answering the question, I'm attempting to qualify a little bit. What is the two most important things you can do this residentially? So you're going to hire someone to list your home or to lease your home. What are the two most important things for you? So you can answer it, Fan.
Well, again, number one, I have a price in mind I've already shared with you, right? If we can rent that out, that'll be great. And then number two, I try to get it quick, hopefully, because you know we already have a vacancy from the last restaurant owner, and then you can get it quick. You can get somebody to move, like take over this business within like, I don't know, 60 days. That'll be great.
Okay. So when he gave that answer, whether it's real or not, he's role playing. Was there any quality about an agent? Number of transactions, prior experience? Sounds like this person wants to get it rented. And so what's going through my mind is, I want that number. Now, Fan, you sit tight a little bit. Let's have the conversation now, and we'll come back to it. This is a seller. Now, who wants to be the agent that, and Fan now will be a homeowner, not a commercial, that wants to sell. In fact, I'll do it. I'll be the seller. Who wants to handle me as a seller? And I want X number of dollars for my house. Happens all the time. We just talked about that. I'll pick someone if you don't raise your hand.
Sure, I'll volunteer.
All right, Dennis. Make me proud. You got my name.
Hey,
Now,
Danny. Good afternoon. Go ahead.
By the way, Dennis, you might be a Tom Brady in real estate. I don't know, but this is a coaching program. Is it okay if we coach you on it?
Of course, that's why I'm here.
All right, groovy. All right, so we're at the table. Hey, dude, I want $550,000 for my house, and I want to be able to get it sold in the next 60 days. And I want to find an agent who can do that.
Absolutely. It's all about getting you the top dollar for your home. That's the goal of most sellers. According to the data I brought with us, homes similar to yours are selling on average less than 60 days, but about 30 grand less. So I guess my first question to you, Denny, would be, why do you think your home is worth more than what previous homes that are similar to yours? What makes your home a little more special?
Everybody on this call knows why my home is worth more. Why?
Bird bass.
Right. I've got bird bass in the backyard filled with Perrier.
Okay, and what else? Again, any other examples you can give me that you love about this home that we can try to sell and show value to clients?
Well, yeah, the bird bath and I sponge painted the garage. My wife did that. It's really pretty cool.
Great. I'll be honest with you. I've been doing this for 10 years. And again, my goal, I always like to be wrong on these things, Denny. Okay. But I just go off the data, right? When it comes to buyers, generally they're going to compare shop, Denny. All right. There's other homes on the market that are a little bit less, maybe a little more. In the end, homes are very similar, right? They'll have a roof, they all have a shop, they have a kitchen, they got a living room. If you're telling me that, hey, you want to move in the next 60 days, it may be tough to get what you're asking for. There's only really one way to find out, Denny, right? We put on the market, we'll test the waters.
Time. All right. So I'm gonna let the gang, there's people that have been through karate class with me for a year or two on this.
Yeah.
So let's give Dennis his first chance. Number one, I'll give him a hand. He's playing. He wanted some coaching. And there's more than one way to hit a golf ball or a pickleball, because we talk about pickleball here a lot. Give Dennis some coaching, please.
Be more interested than interesting, to quote Matt.
Yes. How do we do that?
I would like
Ask
to
questions.
Ask him a
Ask
question.
questions. Good. So Dennis, make a note. Ask questions. So, who else spoke? Was that Katrina?
Yeah, I would also like to know what's the significance of that amount that you want, so I can kind of understand where you're going with it.
That's
All right,
after the
Ruben.
knuckle bomb.
Oh, knuckle bump. That's going back to the better way. Anything else you want to coach him on? How about the 20-second rule? Anybody remember that? What we want to do, Dan, is if we're talking more than 20 seconds in one fell swoop, you're talking too much. So are we okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
And by the way, I don't think that's the conversation you had with the house you sold within walking distance to the school. Now, what I just demonstrated was Dennis and Rick ought to get together, because Dennis is going by data. Rick loves data. And so that was your normal form of treatment. Going back to the doctor analogy I mentioned at the beginning of the call. This is how we normally treat if you've got that rash. This is the protocol. I'm saying I don't want that protocol. I want to spray Windex on my hand, because I think that'll make it work. So, is it possible that my protocol might work for me? So now all right, so going back to fan, commercial is going to be the same way. We'll come back to that in a second. I want one of my more graduate students to handle this conversation with me with some of the things you've learned. And so people here, including Dennis, can hear the difference. Who would like to do that? I see a lot of people on this call that are qualified to do it. How come you talk on recon? We don't talk to me. I feel so bad.
Danny, can I try?
Who?
Scott.
Oh yeah, Scott, go ahead.
So
You got
Danny,
me? Yeah.
I got you at the table, all right, and we're ready. So Denny, besides the price, are you confident? Are you ready and confident that I can sell your house for you? Are you ready to sign with me today?
So Dennis, if you're watching here new, and if you're here new on the channel and not had this is a model that he's following. It's very common in the sales world. What he's doing is isolating. So other than that, other than price, if we get together on price and we're ready to move forward, yeah, I want 550. I mean, bird bath, sponge painting, and I'll even throw in, I've got a dog playing pool picture.
Okay, so Denny, since we can't do this, no, what is the lowest price that would be acceptable for you for this home?
Why? Are you trying to sell it at the lowest price?
I'm just trying to gauge or to talk to you and kind of prepare you for what the market is going to say.
Now, I know that some people use that question. Oh, by the way, I laughed out loud, Dennis, too. We're not picking on you. we have a list of things that we want to work on not saying. Did anybody pick up on it? Sean, did you hear it?
10 years.
No, he said, to be honest.
Ah.
We don't say that because that means, well, if you don't say that, you're not being honest. So just a small point. So may I be honest with you? Just teasing you. Scott, I do not like that question.
So I should go right to the three outcomes?
No,
based on the price?
no, I don't like asking a seller what's the lowest they're gonna take. That's, to me, in my mind, and a lot of people use it. I just don't like it. I'm not saying you can't use it, but this is where my mind goes. My mind automatically goes, why are you looking for my lowest? I have a feeling that if I tell you what I really think, you won't work hard to get what I really want. Does anybody else have that feeling? If I want to ask my wife to marry me and like, hey, to what degree can I fool around and you still be okay with it?
How many interns can I bang, right?
Is that not corny or what? So I'm going
right.
to I'm going to throw a penalty flag on you. Oh, by the way, anybody watch the football game last night? The first one? Anybody happy that the Eagles won? I don't think anybody is. So what's interesting about that? I'm going to throw a penalty flag on that, Scott. So don't ask me that question. I want 550, right? And no, there's no other concern. Yes, I'll use you if we can do 550.
Okay, we can definitely do that, but there are three outcomes that are gonna happen at that price.
He's missing
Okay.
a step. Now he's missing a step, Rick. What is it?
You gotta get the agreement.
Knuckle bump.
Well, yeah, we talked about that, no? I
Well,
said,
but all right. So can I reverse this with you?
yes, please.
So are you saying that if we agree to initially position your home at 550, are you ready to do business? You didn't ask me that. You just said, is there anything else keeping you from working with me? But you didn't get it. We didn't get married. The knuckle bump is a ceremony. So if we agree to list your home at 550 initially, are you ready to move forward with me?
Yeah. What do you mean by?
You broke up. What do I mean by what?
What do you mean by initially? I mean, that's what
Well, I mean,
we're gonna
we're going to attempt your method of your protocol, 550. We're going to start it there. If we start it there, are we ready to do business today?
Yeah, I'm ready. What if we don't get 550?
Well, we'll have a conversation. Here's what I want to see. You don't have to be the knuckle bump, but I want you to have a clear, okay, knuckle bump. What I want you to have is a clear understanding. All right, shake hands, knuckle bump. Okay, great. Welcome to my client family. Throw rice at them like you got married, or birdseed now is the cool thing to do. Now that we've agreed to work together, do you mind if I share with you what will happen next? You see, the difference, Dennis, and this is kind of the difference of the better way is I may be a great seller that just has a different idea what my home is worth. Do you want to lose me as a listing because I want a different protocol? You want to lose me as a listing because I want a different starting price. Dennis, if you're going to fight me, I'm thinking you're not working in my favor.
Right.
So the other thing is, I know what the data says, and again, I go through this every week to remind you, is it possible that the home could sell outside the data range?
Of course.
100%.
Absolutely.
So why die on that hill?
Right.
As long as it's my number. So that's what we're doing. So Scott, does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. So you had it except for the knuckle bump. And then when you share what happens next. All right. So let's go back to you, Fan. Where are you? Are you
I'm
still here? Okay. Fan, you are now the agent. And I think we're talking about price, right?
Yeah, the lease.
The lease. Yes, I want $30 a foot plus cam of 5. And I want it at least inside of 60 days.
Okay, Danny, if we were to agree with your structure with $30.05, are you ready to move forward with me?
Well, yeah, but I want you to be able to. Now this would be a logical question. They're gonna say, I want you, can you deliver that?
Danny, it's not about me deliver it or what you want it. It's what bar willing to pay or what the tenant willing to pay is what market dictates.
Okay. Wouldn't you say that to me, Dennis? Or you say, look, can you deliver 550 on my home? What would you say?
Let's give it a shot. I'll do my best.
Okay.
Or I'm willing to start there, maybe something like that, right?
Yeah. No. Both of those responses you gave me, were okay. What we want to avoid is, oh yeah, I think that's great. Because as soon as you say, yes, that's great, you've got your fingerprints on it. You don't want ownership of that number.
Right.
So going to your experiencing, I mean, in our role play, you never brought up experience. You just wanted performance. So Fan, does that help you out at all without taking the whole call to talk about that? Does that help you out at all?
Yeah, I feel like that's a couple of things that I make a note of. Number one, you're kind of leverage your team at the very beginning. So obviously, okay, like we have our team has this much experience. And then number two, you're kind of using what you coach us about, the way that in the pricing strategy that's kind of connect with this commercial situation that's gonna work. And also what you guys share, I saw, Rose and D share about emotion, and then hey, commercial actually takes time and stuff like that. So yes, if it makes a business sense. So those are like notes I took, and I'm gonna like go down with the conversation.
Okay, good. I had who's next? Who's got their hand up? Who's ready to go next? Somebody had their hand up earlier. Who was it? It could be a question. While you get the courage to have your hand up, I had somebody call me yesterday, a builder that has 17 houses, all of them ready to go. They're closing them out, wanted me to list them. Now, let me ask you this. Okay, so I am that builder. What would you want to know if I called you? What would you want to know?
Are you talking to any other agents?
No, well, I wanted, but technically speaking, I know you because you were my bold coach like 8 years ago, and I just didn't like to work with you.
I'd want to know the time frame he expects.
Well,
Expectation.
we're closing out. We want these. We've been there too long. We've got our prices down to where we can't cut anymore, and we got to get out of this community. We're losing our shirt as it is. Good question so far. Keep going.
So what price have you been at?
Well, they're all listed in MLS. You can see.
Why don't
What,
you
what,
think?
let's
Go
go
ahead,
ahead.
Dennis.
Just as an agent, why do you think they're not selling? General question.
Well, we had a couple agents there, and the models are open, 7 days a week, and they would rotate a little bit, and they're saying that people are coming in because they're saying they don't want to buy it because it's in a flood zone, or there's no bird bath included, and a bunch of other stuff like that.
Have you had any offers?
Yeah, there's some sales. There's about one a month sells.
What are you looking for this time around in an agent?
Well, I need somebody who's got a big enough team to be able to staff those models every day. And we're willing to pay 3% on the listing side. We'll pay 3% on the co-broke side. And we're willing to give you $1,000 a month, just as a little stipend to have somebody there. What else would you want to know?
Why do you say that you're at your absolute lowest price?
Well, you know what, the corporate is, they can only write it down so far. So they're at the nubs right now.
Does that include incentives?
Yeah, well, with the price, there's a $8,000 incentive that we're willing to throw in.
Hello, Denny.
Yeah, Kevin.
Can you just say when would be a good time for me to come over and write up the listing?
No, because he's out of town. Always be closing, Kevin. What else? What else you want to know? This is a what do you call it? This is a real life case study. Just happened. I had a conversation yesterday and today. What else do you want to know?
What do you need for me to for you to give me the listing? What do you need for me for you to give me the listing? Just really simple.
You already got it. I mean, I'm willing. I told you, if you want to list them, you can list them.
For me,
What
I would like,
happens? Go ahead, Christina.
I was gonna say, for me, I would like to know what happens if the market continues to reject your pricing.
Well, we've already written them down as low as we can go.
Okay, and if we were to decide to list it as is right now, what does that look like?
Well, the prices, you can see the prices are in MLS now.
And you did stress to me your motivation as far as the importance of selling your property. Are you interested in having another conversation to look at how we can reposition you in the event that this does not, bring the buyers that you're looking for at this time?
I hear you, but the corporate office is just not going to buy that. They're just, I'm sure we don't have the marketing budget there anymore. We need somebody sitting there, and we have internet leads that come in too, or we'll give you all those internet leads. If they don't buy these houses, they'll buy something else, or you can show them something else. But only you tried to sell this first, and yeah.
What
So
if
it's, go ahead.
what if the market just says no to these prices? What would you do next?
Well, I really think, it's probably got a bad stigma because, we had a hurricane that flooded and all that's been taken care of now. I think you just need to take the message to the real estate community, get realtors out there to show it more, make sure you're there, etc.
And what if we took that route and the market continues to go down? How would that affect you then?
Now, I tell you what, I'm doing burpees in my brain.
Burpees in your brain.
Why? Remember, there's no such thing as a bad listing. They're only bad properties. They're only bad sellers. I say bad, unrealistic seller, right? We list sellers, not property. So again, I get it, Kevin. Yesterday I could have had 17 listings just like that. Now, again, he's looking for someone to staff it. That's $5 million in business. They're paying a full fee, paying a co-broke. If we double end it, we double end it, and they're not asking for a discount. You'd almost want to run to that with both arms wide open, right?
Absolutely.
So how many luxury homes? Take the nicest area of your town. Take the nicest. You're in Phoenix, Dennis? Where?
What part of the valley, if that's what you're asking?
Yeah.
I mean, really, I don't know if you are familiar with the Desert Ridge area. It's North Phoenix, but
yeah, my wife and I own a house in Cave Creek.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I'm just outside the Desert Ridge marketplace area, but been a resident.
So here's the deal: pick the nicest area of your town, and the developer calls you and says, "Would you please list? I've got 8. Oh no, I've got 10
Right.
$1 million, 10, $1 million homes. What would you want to know? You're muted, Katrina.
I would say if they're motivated enough to sell, and in this case, it doesn't seem as if they're motivated, so you could
Yeah.
possibly be just spinning your wheels as far as trying to accommodate or hit that goal when they're not going to listen to the market to reposition themselves accordingly.
You guys just started going down that. The first couple questions were great, but then you all started coming around to the, remember, we don't list property, we list property owners. That is a sign of mastery, folks. There's a lot of agents that will run to list property, but they're not motivated. What good does it do you? Particularly when the developer wants you to sit there 7 days a week. Particularly when the homeowner wants you to do open houses every weekend. These houses are on the market now and they're not selling. Why would you want to take it? And guess what analogy I used? All right, I'll tell you something. I'll tell you the end of the story and we'll get into something else. The analogy is that they basically, they want a different doctor to give them the same medicine.
Yeah.
So you want to know how I responded? Here we go. I had a conversation with him just before I started with you guys. Really good guy on the other end of the phone. He gets it, but he's got bosses. I said, you know what? Number one, I can help you. I talk to my team.
Why?
We can help you. I'm not going to be there every day of the week, blah, blah, blah. We can help you. So he's feeling pretty good. Number two, I said, maybe the best way to help you is to turn you down. He goes, what? Yes, because if we were to go in there 30 days from now, your bosses are still going to be unhappy. Why are they still going to be unhappy, guys?
Because the positioning's wrong.
That's right. They're not positioned right. I don't care how many donuts you take real estate agents or bagels, it doesn't change the fact, right? And again, they want the models open. Models open is like having a perpetual open house. And I said, here's what I went on to say. I had 3 points. I have them somewhere here. Maybe they're back over here. But here, the other point I said was this. I said, any agent that would take it. Now, you tell me why I said this. Any agent that would take you up on your proposition would be the exact wrong agent for you to hire. But we've used that conversation before in role play in a different scenario. Why would I say that?
For them to second guess whoever says yes. And to really think about their experience.
So if an agent agreed to work for $1,000 guaranteed a month for properties that may only sell one a month, which is, one $100,000 sale a month, what kind of a quality agent are they getting? By the way, I mean, these are conversations you can have with your seller. If they want you to come in there and do the same thing the other agent did, and another agent will do that. Well, and the last thing I said, you know what? I think basically the best thing I can do is probably not come in because they're going to fire that agent. I'd rather be the next one. You know, there's a saying in real estate, you probably have heard it. You want to be the firstborn son, the second wife, and the third real estate agent. Y'all get that, right? Sometimes it takes that long for sellers to get into reality. Now, luckily for this, and I'll keep you posted, we had a great conversation and my contact agrees. Now they're going to have to go up the ladder, but I said, listen, I will not take this. I will not take these listings at the old price. So, all right, enough of that. Benefit or not, I don't know.
Danny,
All right, who's got something?
To tag on your point, I was thinking those developer they have a deadline for their commercial for their construction loan, right?
I don't know. I don't know how they do that, but
That's a pain point.
Go ahead.
That's a pain point. Meaning,
But
okay,
I'm not talking to the people who are making that decision. I mean, new home people, here's the beautiful thing about new home people. They're not emotionally attached. They want to move stuff. But I tell you, corporate salaries, bonuses, jobs are all tied to profitability. Now they made one more statement. All right. So see if you can see where you would take this one. Well, I'll tell you what, the guy says to me, well, I'll tell you what, Denny, I mean, they're not going to discount the price, but they might if you find someone to buy all of them.
I'm not taking it.
Well, what's going through your mind, guys?
Who the hell's gonna buy all of them?
No, an investor would.
Yeah, no, at least they're willing to entertain options. I don't know. I mean, it shows a little bit of like flexibility, maybe very little, but
Well,
originally start off as, hey, this is what I need, and I'm not going below it now, right? Now they're like, all right, listen, dude, if this happens, we can make this happen. I don't know. I'm an
But
optimist.
if they're willing to sell them to an investor at a significantly discounted price, why wouldn't they be willing to reduce on a 1-by-1 basis?
Are you getting that? That's the way I want you to think. That's a wax on, wax off. You're going to hear people when they have conversations like that. That's exactly what I want you to hear. Now you're seeing beyond I'll use an old one. Anyone ever see The Wizard of Oz? Behind the curtain. I want you to see what's going on. If they're willing, and that's what I said. Well, if they're willing to take a 40% discount with an investor to sell them, why wouldn't they take a 20%, lower the price 20% and sell them at retail? So those are the things I want you to spot. Because if they talk long enough, they're going to give you little angles in which to exploit and to probe.
Hey, Denny, one other question. So did you go down the path of, okay, let's fast forward 2 months from now and none of these units have sold. How do you think corporate would respond at that point?
Well, I did. I said in 30 days, the reason I don't want to take them now, the best thing I can do for you is not take them, because in 30 days, nothing's going to change in sales. They're going to be happy and they're going to fire whoever you have in there. I'd rather be next. I just said 30
Okay.
days.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks.
All right. Who wants to role play? Who wants to be an agent? I'll give you something. We'll see. You want to get probed? I'll probe you. I'm the prober. You're the probee. All right. You want another little tidbit? A little tidbit tip?
I'll do it if nobody want to do it.
Yeah, well, I'm going to give you a market tip first. Okay. This is from my wife. My wife, by the way, Dennis, my wife has 3 market centers in Scottsdale. Are you Keller Williams?
No, I'm currently with EXP Realty, and you were attending an event yesterday with James.
Oh, you were on that. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for the invitation to the group. Yeah, I'm looking forward to being a member of the club.
Good. It's just 25 cents a year. Okay, so here's what I want you to know. How many people have people that are tracking interest rates right now? Buyers and sellers, and everyone's talking about interest rates. A lot of talk about interest rates. I think interest rates are down. Long-term rates are down to 6.4.
Aren't we always looking at interest rates?
Yeah, but I think more buyers and sellers are kind of tracking that now.
But yes, you're right. 6.4 around there floating.
I won't go into detail, but I will pass this along, and I will give my wife credit for this. I mean, she's a OG. I'm just learning that. That doesn't stand for old goat. They are preparing a graphic right now to send to their buyers that maybe are on the fence of I'm watching interest rates, and probably I'll probably get a copy of it, and you guys are all over the country. I'm sure she won't mind if I share it with you. Here's the thing. You better get your buyers ready. I know they meet on the 16th or something like that. However, there is a strong possibility that you're going to see because of the jobs report. The jobs report already came out. It was low. 10-year treasury is what you want to watch. And I'm not going to geek you out on this. The treasury is falling. Interest rates are going to take a dip. on top of the political pressure that they have on the Fed. If you have potential buyers that are kind of lollygagging around, if anybody remembers that word, kind of like my grandmother word, if they're not ready, get them ready. Talk to a lender, pre-approved, whatever. Maybe even have them start looking at properties online, because when this happens, it's going to happen quickly. And they could take, I don't know, again, just because the Fed lowers long-term rates doesn't mean this, the prime doesn't mean long-term rates are going to drop, but they probably will. If they approach closer to the 6, maybe 6.25 or 6%, there's going to be a lot of people waiting in line to get their applications through. So you're just taking it from me. Does that make sense to you guys? So if you have buyers in your pipeline, maybe post this on your socials, maybe have them call you. You can start conversations. The interesting thing is, I asked her, what would you do for sellers? There was an article, I said this on Recon, I think I did. Last 3 weeks ago, Wall Street said an area of where I work is the worst in the country, in the market. And then Inman's reporting another article just yesterday that the market, the county north of me, is the most risky market in the country. So this is information that I was wondering how she would handle it with sellers. And it really, because I want sellers to get repositioned, right? Like we just had this conversation about this builder. If the sellers think all of a sudden this market's going to get better, they may not reposition. I want them to be able to reposition. So if you have sellers that are not getting showings now, the low-hanging fruit will be sold. So they need to get into the point where if this does happen and there is a little bit of a push for the buyer activity, they have to be ready to take advantage of it. All right, Fan, you had something else really fast. Anybody else had their hand up? Nobody talks to me. You must like Louise better, or Fan, or Matt, or Don. That's okay. You had something else you want to say, Fan?
No, I'm just, because you said it. Anybody want to role play? I can jump in to whatever.
Well, all right. So what objection do you want to? Last thing we'll do today. I promise. I'll put you out of your misery. What's the last objection you'd like to cover? You'd like to be able to master it. We'll throw it to we'll throw it to Fan.
Oh, no, like I'm trying to I'm trying to overcome the why should I hire you objection. Like with you guys, tons of time. I need a combine those notes and find a good angle, and while like listening carefully what the other.
Stop it. You're over preparing.
Okay.
All right, let's ask him. I'm going to ask him. David, you ask him. Alberto, you ask him. David, ask him. Why should I hire you? You've got 40 seconds. Go.
Ben, why should I hire you?
David, you should hire me because I'm committed to get your best possible result.
Boring. All right, Alberto, ask him.
Why should I hire you?
Alberto, if you're happy on what you heard today, are you ready to move forward with me?
Why should I hire you?
Why should I hire you? Fine.
Dan, forget his first name. No one can say it.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a good fit to help you exceed those 2 to 3 things. What would be additional question?
How are you gonna do that?
I'm sorry?
How are
You
you
tried
gonna
that
do that?
today. You tried that today. It didn't work. All right, ask me.
You asked me.
All right, David,
Denny,
why should I hire you, David?
You know what, Denny? I'm really not quite sure that you should. But I think that we should find out, see if we're actually a good fit to work together.
All right. All right. Okay, so anybody else want to try it? Why should I hire you, Katrina?
I would pick up from off of what David said, and then I would pose the question to tell me what they're looking for in a realtor.
Okay. D, why should I hire you?
For me?
No,
No.
you're next, Ken. This is D.
Okay.
I win you.
Well, Yeah, what are you looking for? And what type of realtor will make you confident and comfortable that I'm doing the best for you?
Okay, well, I tell you what, answer my question first and I'll answer yours.
Oh, God, I should hire. Because I have the experience, and I mean, you can feel free to call a number of people that have been happy with my service. What are you looking for?
Okay, there she is. All right, Ken, coming to you. Why should I hire you, Ken?
I have guarantee. You can guarantee. Sorry. I have guarantee. You can find me anytime you like.
Oh, there you go.
Denny,
Yeah,
I live for you.
Denny,
Okay.
why wouldn't you hire me?
Ha.
What would be
Oh.
the reason not to hire me?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Let's sign it up. Let's go over and sign it up now. Take care of it. I give you a 30-day list. You can give me, I'll take a 30-day list or 2-week list.
yeah. So what's going through my mind? Something different. Well, that's kind of like it's a big decision, isn't it? To make that, it's a big decision to hire an agent, isn't it, Kevin?
Yeah, it is. It's a very big decision. Why don't we get a 2-week?
You're the seller. You're the seller.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like getting married. So you wouldn't get married without dating, would you?
No, I wouldn't. I don't
So,
think I'd get married if I was dating.
so
Either
my
way.
question, Kevin, is like, if you ask 100 people that question, and they all give you an answer, how do you know which one to believe?
That's a good question.
So I'm going to go. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you why you should hire me, because I'm willing to date you before we make a commitment. Fair enough.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I know it's something different. What do you mean date? Well, could be the guarantees. Why don't we spend a week together? I'm willing to hire me for a week, and if you're not happy, let's break up. Anybody else offer you that?
No, I like it.
And I like the fact too, this is kind of a math thing, but David used it. Well, I'm not sure we should work together yet. I'm asking myself the same question. Why should I represent you? Fair enough. So why don't we step into this relationship and see if we like each other? Clearly, you're probably a great guy, and clearly I'm a great agent. So you want to make a little magic or not? I don't know.
What's your minimum listing period?
1 week.
And what happens after 1 week if it's not sold?
Well, it has nothing to do with being sold. Having it sold is up to you, not me.
And how's that?
Well, we'll have that discussion if you're willing to hire me.
Keep
going.
I like it. So no obligation then. After 1 week, no obligation.
Well, if you buy something good, if you buy a Lexus or a good car, does it come with a warranty?
Usually.
You wouldn't spend money on something that didn't have a warranty or a guarantee. So I guarantee. So number one, I've got 5 guarantees, but I'm just going to tell you right now, if you're not happy after a week, we're going to rip up the contract. Fair enough?
Sold.
I don't know.
I like
All
it.
right. Did anybody hear something they didn't learn, Dennis? Thank you so much for being part of it. James is a good buddy of mine. In fact, James is, I probably owe my life to James. Literally. So I'll tell you the story sometime. Anybody else have any aha today?
So
Yeah, I have a lot of
I
them.
did too.
Yeah, but that's like not a lot of them. Come on, just say one thing you learned.
Well, so I feel like the pricing conversation is so good. Like it can so it can be in a certain scenario that you are not familiar with, that you can actually using that to into those particular scenario.
Okay.
That's the one that I have.
Fan, let me say something to you. You are a dedicated student on this call, but here I'm going to get after all of you. If you're on this call, but you're not going out there working, you're watching and talking about playing pickleball, but not getting on the court. Y'all hear me?
Yes, coach.
Yes.
So I don't care how, you know, I don't care how well you do in front of me. I ain't paying you. You're not paying me either. Go make some money, and when you go to make some money, you're going to make the mistakes. You have the knowledge. Now work on the skill. Katrina, you're going to say something. You're going to learn something. What did you learn?
Oh, I learned a couple of things. First one, the why you hire me statement, as well as the motivation piece to know that it's okay not to just move forward just because this deal seems lucrative. Kind of get an understanding of what they're trying to do before you move forward and take on the deal. And then, you know, show your value. I also like the fact of when we first started the call and how you spoke about, you know, the sellers and how we position them and having that conversation in the event that they want to start out a little bit on the higher end, but still knuckle bumping and having that deal and moving forward, and then talk about repositioning after the fact.
You're a good listener. I bet you were a good student in school.
No, but I'm getting better. Thank you.
Nice job.
And I actually tried that model. Honestly, I have a seller I have a call with in about 30 minutes that I tried that model on. It was a expired listing. They wanted to start on the higher end. We had that conversation. I pulled out the 3 outcomes document. And though we're sitting on the market, it's starting to bring to the realization of them to knowing that the information I shared with them in our original consultation was right, because we've been getting showings, but we hadn't received any offers. And now they're coming back to be able to assess, okay, well, you did tell me A, B, and C, and this is what we're talking about. So each meeting I am bringing up, do you remember when we went over those 3 outcomes? So it definitely works, and it provides all that on them, in opposed to me stepping in there, putting my foot in my mouth. So thank you for that.
Well, that 1 and 3 outcome sheet here, I think I have it. If you're watching this for the first time, Dennis, I think I showed it on James's call, but guys, get this sheet. Or if you're watching on the YouTube channel. The other thing, if you want to, Katrina will help you. How many people are willing to, we get 35 people. Let's all 35 get on the Zoom and call her seller. So, all right, you guys, thanks for being on.
Thank you.
If I can add
Thank you,
value to you,
Denny.
send me an email, coachdennygrimes@gmail.com. And I'm invested in your success, guys. Go out there and practice. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Denny.
Thank you, Denny.